Have you ever noticed something surprising about babies? A baby can be fed, changed, warm, safe, and surrounded by toys, yet still seem restless, fussy, or emotionally distant. Most parents immediately look for a physical reason. Hunger, sleep, discomfort, but Russian child psychologists have long argued that babies have another daily need, one that's completely invisible. And according to many parenting experts, it's the need that shapes emotional security, confidence, and even future relationships. Here's the shocking part. Most loving parents believe they're meeting this need every day, when in reality, they're accidentally missing it. In Russia, there's a parenting philosophy called vospitanie, pronounced vospitanie, and hidden inside this century-old approach is a powerful lesson about what babies silently crave from the adults around them. It's not more toys. It's not more stimulation. And it's definitely not perfect parenting. Today, you'll discover your baby's #1 unspoken daily need, why so many parents overlook it, and how a simple shift in your everyday interactions can completely change the way your child feels, learns, and connects with you. Because sometimes the most important thing your baby needs isn't something you can hold in your hands. Before we talk about the hidden need itself, we need to understand where this idea comes from. For generations, Russian families have viewed child development through a concept called vospitanie. The word doesn't have a perfect English translation. It's often translated as upbringing, but it means much more than teaching good behavior. Vospitanie is the belief that a child's character develops through thousands of everyday interactions, not grand lessons, expensive educational products, or constant entertainment. In many Western countries, parenting has gradually become more child-centered. Parents are encouraged to keep children constantly engaged, stimulated, and entertained. And while there's nothing wrong with that, Russian parenting traditions often focus on something different. They ask a simple question: how connected does the child feel to the people raising them? That's because many Russian child development experts believe emotional security grows from consistent human connection rather than constant activity. One influential Russian psychologist, Lyudmila Petronovskaya, has written extensively about attachment and the importance of emotional availability. Her work emphasizes that children thrive when they feel emotionally anchored to trusted adults. Now here's where things get interesting. Most parents assume connection means spending more time with their child, but that's not necessarily true. A parent can spend an entire day near their baby while being emotionally distracted, checking messages, thinking about work, rushing through routines, feeling overwhelmed. Meanwhile, another parent might spend only a few focused minutes fully present and create a much deeper emotional impact. Studies consistently show that babies aren't simply responding to physical care. They're responding to emotional responsiveness, to eye contact, to facial expressions, to the feeling that someone is truly with them. And this leads us to the unspoken need that Russian parenting traditions have quietly emphasized for decades. Not more attention, not more activities, but something much simpler. Attuned presence. The feeling that a trusted adult is emotionally available and genuinely connected in the moment. And once you understand this, many everyday parenting struggles suddenly start making a lot more sense. So, if your baby's hidden daily need is attuned presence, how do Russian parenting traditions help create it? Let's break it down into 3 powerful principles. And don't worry, these aren't complicated techniques. In fact, they're surprisingly simple. Here's what many parents get wrong. They believe being a good parent means constantly doing something. More toys, more activities, more stimulation, more educational content. But babies aren't primarily asking, "What are we doing?" They're asking, "Are you with me?" Russian parenting traditions often place less emphasis on entertaining children and more emphasis on shared experiences. A mother folding laundry while talking warmly with her baby. A father cooking dinner while allowing a toddler to watch and participate. A grandmother telling stories while making tea. The activity itself isn't the magic. The connection is. Modern neuroscience supports this idea. When caregivers respond consistently to a baby's expressions, sounds, and emotions, neural pathways associated with trust and emotional regulation begin strengthening. In many homes, parents sometimes feel pressure to create nonstop stimulation. But Russian families often remind themselves of something different. A connected child doesn't always need to be entertained. They need to feel seen, and that changes everything. Now here's something counterintuitive. Sometimes the best parenting action is doing less. Russian parents often spend considerable time observing babies before intervening. Instead of immediately redirecting attention, they watch. Instead of instantly solving frustration, they pause. Instead of assuming, they observe. Why? Because babies communicate long before they can speak. Through facial expressions, body movements, eye contact, vocal sounds, and emotional cues. Imagine your baby is struggling to reach a toy. Many adults immediately hand it over. Problem solved. But Russian parenting philosophy often encourages a brief pause, not because the parent is ignoring the child, because they're trying to understand what the child actually needs. Help? Encouragement? Or simply time? Research on child development suggests that allowing children small opportunities to work through manageable challenges helps build confidence and problem-solving skills. The key word is manageable. Not overwhelming, not unsafe, just enough challenge to encourage growth. This approach teaches babies something powerful. My feelings matter. My signals are noticed. And someone is paying attention. That's the foundation of emotional security. Think about this. When a baby becomes upset, what usually happens? The entire room's stress level rises. Parents become anxious. Voices get louder. Movements become faster. Everyone starts reacting. But Russian parenting traditions often emphasize something different. The adult becomes the emotional anchor, the calmer person in the room. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means regulating your own emotions first. Because babies are remarkably sensitive to the emotional states of adults. They watch faces. They hear tone of voice. They notice tension. In many Russian families, parents are encouraged to speak firmly but calmly. Not because strictness is the goal, because predictability creates safety. Here's a surprising reality. Babies often borrow emotional regulation from adults before they develop it themselves. When you remain calm during difficult moments, you're teaching something far more valuable than obedience. You're teaching emotional resilience. And over time, your child begins to internalize that sense of security. Notice what's happening across all three principles. The focus isn't on controlling the child, it's on strengthening the relationship. Because according to both traditional Russian wisdom and modern attachment science, a baby's deepest daily need isn't constant happiness. It's the confidence that someone understands them, notices them, and remains emotionally available. That feeling becomes the foundation for trust, learning, confidence, and healthy relationships later in life. And the best part? You don't need special training to provide it. You can start today. So how do you actually apply these ideas in real life? The good news is that you don't need to completely change your parenting style. Small daily adjustments can make a surprisingly big difference. Let's look at 4 practical steps you can start using today. Choose one moment each day when your baby gets your complete attention. No phone, no television, no multitasking. Just you and your child. For infants, this might be during feeding, diaper changes, or floor play. For older babies, it could be while reading, singing, or exploring toys together. The goal isn't to entertain. The goal is to connect. Trying to make the interaction educational is a common mistake. Instead, focus on responsiveness. Follow your baby's lead. Respond to their expressions and sounds. Many parents notice changes in connection within just a few days. Here's a habit Russian parents often practice. When your child encounters a small challenge, pause for 3 to 5 seconds before intervening. Not during dangerous situations. Not when your baby is highly distressed. Only during safe, manageable moments. For example, your baby is reaching for a toy. Trying to stack blocks. Attempting to crawl toward an object. Instead of immediately helping, wait briefly. Observe, you may be surprised by what they can do independently. For babies under 1 year, these pauses should be very short. For toddlers, they can gradually become longer. Sometimes, encouragement is more valuable than immediate assistance. Many parents begin noticing increased confidence within a few weeks. Many parents rush to stop negative emotions, but babies need help understanding feelings before they can manage them. When your child becomes frustrated, try calmly describing what's happening. You wanted that toy. That surprised you. You're feeling upset right now. This simple habit helps children feel understood. And feeling understood often reduces distress more effectively than distractions. Research suggests that emotional labeling supports the development of emotional intelligence over time. Keep it simple, warm, and age-appropriate. This may be the most powerful step of all. The next time your baby cries, check your own emotional state first. Take a breath. Relax your shoulders. Slow your movements. Lower your voice. Remember, your baby is borrowing emotional signals from you. If you're stressed, they often become more stressed. If you're calm, they often settle more quickly. This doesn't mean you'll always stay composed. No parent can do that. The goal is progress, not perfection. And if you lose your patience, repair the connection afterward. That matters more than getting everything right. You don't need to apply all 4 steps immediately. Choose one. Practice it for a week. Then add another. Russian parenting traditions were never about creating perfect children. They were about building strong relationships. And relationships grow one small interaction at a time. Your child doesn't need a flawless parent. They need a connected one. So what's the real lesson behind this Russian parenting philosophy? It's not about becoming a strict Russian parent. It's not about copying another culture's parenting style, and it's certainly not about adding more pressure to your already busy life. The lesson is much simpler. Your baby's deepest daily need isn't constant entertainment. It isn't expensive toys. It isn't perfect routines. It's the feeling of being emotionally seen, of knowing that someone notices their signals, responds to their emotions, and remains present even during difficult moments. That's what Vospitany reminds us. Character, confidence, and emotional security aren't built during big parenting moments. They're built during thousands of small ones. The glance across a room, the calm response to tears, the few minutes of undivided attention before bedtime, the gentle pause that allows a child to try for themselves. These tiny moments may seem insignificant today, but over time, they become the foundation of trust. And trust is where everything else grows. So I'd love to hear from you. Which of these ideas surprised you the most? Do you think your child gets enough emotional presence during the day? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience might help another parent who needs encouragement today. And if you enjoyed learning about parenting wisdom from different cultures, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Every week, we explore science-backed parenting ideas from around the world, practical strategies you can actually use with your family. Because great parenting isn't about being perfect, It's about showing up, again and again, with patience, with connection, and with trust in the incredible potential already living inside your child. We'll see you in the next video.